not how I wanted to start today's stream. This is how I wanted to start today's stream. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's go. Jeremy the quartering, his face is so dick-watering. I wanna see a semen stream across that streamer's forehead. So pretty, I'd imagine if he looked up with you with your dick inside his mouth. That little hole so tight and warm, I'm gonna come just at the thought. He's a thought, his videos are written by a bot. He's an op, compromised and caught. He's a cop. Jeremy the quartering's a faggot with a need for cock. If he lost a couple pounds, he'd pass better than me, full stop. Needs to shave his shitty beard and go gay. In the trans community, she gets so very fucking laid. She should trade in her fake opinions and get a new set. Everybody knows she's faking gay, just like her fans, I bet. Yeah. Trixie the Golden Witch. Trial of the Golden Witch.bandcamp.com. Let's go. I'm gonna just play this a few more times as people come in here. Yeah. Alright. I guess I could just let the beat keep rolling and just keep doing it over and over. Jeremy the quartering, his face is so dick-watering. I wanna see a semen stream across that streamer's forehead. So pretty, I'd imagine if he looked up with you with your dick inside. Looked up with you? Looked up at you. Let me restart this real quick. Hold on, I messed up my lyrics here. Jeremy the quartering, his face is so dick-watering. I wanna see a semen stream across that streamer's forehead. So pretty, I'd imagine if he looked up at you with your dick inside his mouth. That little hole so tight and warm, I'm gonna come just at the thought. He's a thought, his videos are written by a bot. He's an op, compromised and caught. He's a cop. Jeremy the quartering's a faggot with a need for cock. If he lost a couple pounds, he'd pass better than me, full stop. Needs to shave his shitty beard and go gay. If the trans community, she gets so very fucking laid. She should trade in her fake opinions and get a new set. Everybody knows she's faking gay, just like her fans, I bet. Yeah. Alright, I did it that time correctly, all the way through. How do y'all feel about my thirst rapping about Jeremy the Quartering? Do it again, alright? Because I know a lot of you don't know how to understand rap lyrics that easily. So I'll make sure everybody gets lyrics, okay? Jeremy the quartering, his face is so dick-watering. I wanna see a semen stream across that streamer's forehead. So pretty, I'd imagine if he looked up with you with your dick inside his mouth. That little hole so tight and warm, I'm gonna come just at the thought. He's a thought, his videos are written by a bot. He's an op, compromised and caught. He's a cop. Jeremy the quartering's a faggot with the need for cock. If he lost a couple pounds, he'd pass better than me, full stop. Needs to shave his shitty beard and go gay. In the trans community, she gets so very fucking lame. She should trade in her fake opinions and get a new set. Everybody knows she's faking gay, just like her fans, I bet. Yeah. How long does this beat go? Oh, I can do this like 3 more times. Not a long verse. Let's go. Jeremy the quartering, his face is so dick-watering. I wanna see a semen stream across that streamer's forehead. So pretty, I'd imagine if he looked up at you with your dick inside his mouth. That little hole so tight and warm, I'm gonna come just at the thought. He's a thought, his videos are written by a bot. He's an op, compromised and caught. He's a cop. Jeremy the quartering's a faggot with a need for cock. If he lost a couple pounds, he'd pass better than me, full stop. Needs to shave his shitty beard and go gay. In the trans community, she gets so very fucking laid. She should trade in her fake opinions and get a new set. Everybody knows she's faking gay, just like her fans, I bet. Yeah. Alright, I feel good about that round. I like this beat shift. I forgot the beat changes in the back. Yo. Jeremy the quartering, his face is so dick-watering. I wanna see a steaming stream across that streamer's forehead. So pretty, I'd imagine if he looked up at you with your dick inside his mouth. That little hole so tight and warm, I'm gonna come just at the thought. He's a thought, his videos are written by a bot. He's an op, compromised and caught. He's a cop. Jeremy the quartering's a faggot with the need for cock. If he lost a couple pounds, he'd pass better than me, full stop. Needs to shave his shitty beard and go gay. In the trans community, she gets so very fucking laid. She should trade in her fake opinions and get a new set. Everybody knows she's faking gay, just like her fans, I bet. Man, this beat goes so fucking hard. I think Bag of Odix made this. 57 octaves? No, 57 octaves says that's the name I've got on my file. Called Random Fucking Beats. This beat goes so fucking dumb-handed.
Oh, there it goes. All right. Do we need to hear that again? Because there's a lot of new people showing up. So one more time. Oh, I'll show you the lyrics so you can sing along, just in case you've already been here for a couple minutes and you just want to sing along.
Jeremy the quartering, his face is so dick-watering. I want to see a semen stream across that streamer's forehead. So pretty I'd imagine if he looked up at you with your dick inside his mouth. That little hole so tight and warm, I'm gonna come just at the thought. He's a thought, his videos are written by a bot. He's an op, compromised and caught. He's a cop, Jeremy the quartering's a faggot with a need for cock. If he lost a couple pounds, he'd pass better than me, full stop. Needs to shave his shitty beard and go gay. In the trans community, she gets so very fucking laid. She should trade in her fake opinions and get a new set. Everybody knows she's faking gay, just like her fans, I bet. I'm just gonna keep rapping this until people super chat me to do something else. Because I fuck with this beat so hard. Yeah. Jeremy the quartering, his face is so dick-watering. I wanna see a semen stream across that streamer's forehead. So pretty I'd imagine if he looked up at you with your dick inside his mouth. That little hole so tight and warm, I'm gonna come just at the thought. He's a thought, his videos are written by a bot. He's an op, compromised and caught. He's a cop, Jeremy the quartering's a faggot with the need for cock. If he lost a couple pounds, he'd pass better than me, full stop. Needs to shave his shitty beard and go gay. In the trans community, she gets so very fucking laid. She should trade in her fake opinions and get a new set. Everybody knows she's faking gay, just like her fans, I bet. Why so much love for this guy? How did he get your attention? Did you not see the... Hold on. You might not have been here last night. I've got a short that's gonna come out, I think tomorrow. And here, let me just give you an example of what Jeremy the Quartering's content is like. All right.
Walmart busted Pride items in toys section and new Pride items for enraged moms worse than Target. Walmart busted Pride items. Pride items. So an AI is writing these titles. A fucking AI is writing the titles of the Quarterings videos. Pride fucking items. New Pride items for enraged moms worse than Target. What the fuck does that mean? Did he read the fucking title at all? Pride items in toy section and new Pride items for enraged moms worse than Target? Are you fucking kidding me? Fix your fucking shit, you lazy piece of fucking garbage.
That's just one example.
Walmart busted.
But that should give you a pretty good vertical slice of my issue with the quartering. All right, $2 from Gary Always. Thank you very much. $2 for previous question. Oh, I literally answered it. I didn't even realize that's what you were paying me for. Love for Libely. Libely lives on in Gary Always' heart every day. So just kind of an annoying conservative. Why are you crushing so hard though? Well, all right. Kind of just an annoying conservative, but that video I was just complaining about, that has 56,000 views, and that's on the low end of what he gets. He's got 1.6 million subscribers.
Alex Jones, how are you?
And the fact of the matter is...
What's wrong, everyone? Jaron here from the Quartering, and it's a long holiday weekend. It's the big summer...
Forget his smooth, silky voice. Look into his eyes. Now think about... I'm going to tell you right now. I've watched these videos before. He's not saying anything. There's no substantive content in these videos. It's mostly just him having like the most wide-eyed, sumptuous Kapora Gabora stare at the camera the whole time. Now tell me, what purpose is there to watch this other than you think this would look pretty on your dick? Tell me. He's not saying anything. So what is the point, if not to look into that smoldering gaze and think about what it would look like looking up from your waistline? Does he not look like Kapora Gabora from fucking Ocarina of Time, just going on and on and on. You keep accidentally pressing A because, you know, in Ocarina of Time, Kapora Gabora, the tutorial owl, if he'll rant at you, and if you're just kind of blasting through the menu and you just keep pressing A, it defaults to say that you did not hear what he said, and so he repeats it. So you will trap yourself just like mashing the A button forever if you don't at least pay attention to when you have to say, yes, I understand, at the end of his dialogue. So I feel like with Jeremy the Quartering, you're just he traps you in an endless loop of saying, no, I didn't understand, please say it to me again, owl daddy. There you go. That's Kapora Gabora as a human homosexual. Self-hating variety. Self-hating human homosexual. There you go. I just think if he lost weight, if he lost as much weight as I've lost, he would pass better than I do. I think he looks more effeminate. I think he behaves more effeminate. I just think he would make a really powerful queer. And it's a huge missed opportunity because the right hates him. They all know he's a stupid grifter. They don't care about his opinions. Nobody likes this guy. He's got enemies all over. He's got enemies on his own team. He's a null type, you know, be in the same boat and keep poking holes in it type. So a fool, a general fool, big time moron, which it's a lot easier to make it through life if you're a dumb, hot woman than it is as a dumb, like, I don't know. I don't think he's attractive as a man. Like, he's just a kind of a dough ball as a guy. But as a woman, what do you need but a dough ball, you know? So I think the Quartering would make a great bitch, but I don't think he makes a good man. And so that's why I'm trying to make sure he understands that I'm trying to bully him out of the lane he's pretending to be in. Bully him back into his lane. You need to get back in the bitch lane where you belong, Jeremy. And thus, the song. Hey.
Jeremy the Quartering, his face is so dick-watering. I wanna see his semen stream across that streamer's forehead. So pretty, I'd imagine if he looked up with your dick inside his mouth. That little hole so tight and warm, I'm gonna come just at the thought. He's a thought, his videos are written by a bot. He's an op, compromised and caught. He's a cop, Jeremy the Quartering's a faggot with the need for cock. If he lost a couple pounds, he'd pass better than me, full stop. Needs to shave his shitty beard and go gay. In the trans community, she gets so very fucking late. She should trade in her fake opinions and get a new set. Everybody knows she's faking gay just like her fans, I bet.
I'm not good at bullying? Why not? Is this bullying? Is this a form of bullying? Does he have to keep the beard? No, he should really shave the beard. Really gotta shave the beard. The beard is shitty. The beard is bad. Quartering's gotta shave the beard, lose like 50, 60, I don't know how heavy. He looks heavy. Looks like a heavy dude. Bullying's not supposed to be funny, rap lover. It's supposed to make you fucking wish you were dead. I don't bully people for social clout. I bully people because I want them to end their lives. It's not affecting him at all. Give it time. Give it time. I've got the rest of my life to talk about fucking the Jeremy the Quartering in the face until it's like an inescapable part of his personal narrative that there is somebody out there who won't stop talking about how fuckable his face is. It's just that simple. You're paying attention to me literally right now. You are literally paying attention to me right now. What happened to skip the hate? I mean, everybody makes... If you have an emotional range as a human being, you should be able to create projects that speak to totally different sets of emotions. Hate is one of the most important emotions to be able to speak to. I don't think I had nearly enough hate in my heart when I was younger. My hate has grown so much over time, and it's become more of a true hate, like a hate you can really truly use. You know, a hate that is like You're not the quartering. Nobody said you were, you fucking idiot. You said nobody pays attention to you. I said you're paying attention. You said I'm not the quartering. Are you retarded? Fix your brain. Fix how it works. Fix the way it works. Before you try to talk to people on the internet, go out into the real world, communicate with people, figure out how speaking works, figure out how to listen to what people are saying to you before you try to have a conversation on the internet. Because if you're already really bad at communicating, it's going to be even worse if you are bad and you're trying to do it through proxy of like listening to someone talk and trying to type responses to them at the same time. Like, that's not how people communicate. And you're clearly not paying enough attention. So you need to work on that. Go out into the world. Become a human rap lover. It's easier on the internet for you. Well, it can be for some people, but I mean, would you say that your internet communication is like very good? Projection, you don't know my social life. Bro, your social life right now is getting screamed at by someone you don't know. That is your social life. You choose right now. You are choosing of your own volition to be holding a phone, or I guess at a desktop. You are at a screen where someone you don't know at all is just screaming at you to get a life. That is your social life right now. Right now. No, I'm screaming at you. You just said you weren't the court. Motherfucker, you just said you weren't the quartering. Now you say I'm screaming at the quartering. Bruh, calm yourself. Think about what you're saying. Oh, you're trying to compare me to you saying I'm screaming at the quartering. No, I'm rapping about how fuckable the quartering's face is. I haven't done any screaming. I have just simply told you that he's got a very fuckable face. He's got a nice face for the fucking, you know? I don't think that's a mean thing to say about somebody, right? Like, normally, if you say about a woman that you would love to see what she looks like sucking your dick, that's usually a huge compliment. So if Jeremy's not taking it as a compliment, that's his fucking fault. You know, if somebody tells me they'd love to see me sucking their dick, I'd be like, it's not gonna happen, but I'm flattered, I guess. You don't think of it as a compliment? Like, it's literally telling you that you're attractive to say that you have a fuckable face. You think the quartering would blush hearing me say it? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm even scratching the surface of what actually goes on in that guy's head, you know? I'm like, haha, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay. And like, it could be that he's way more like, you know, fetishistic than I could possibly, like, being gay is a very innocent thing, you know, or even trans. I'm basically just calling him gay and trans. I'm not really calling him anything insulting. You know, a faggot with a need for cock. I'm a faggot with a need for cock. So I'm really just saying that he's just like me, you know. Jeremy the quartering, his face is so dick watering. I want to see a semen stream across that streamer's forehead, so pretty-eyed. Imagine if he looked up at you with your dick inside his mouth, that little hole so tight and warm I'm gonna come just at the thought. All that sounds really complimentary. His videos are written by a bot. He's an op, compromised and caught. He's a cop. Okay, now that's not nice. That's obviously his downsides. Those aren't the reasons you like the quartering, right? Nobody likes that he's an op, compromised and caught, or a cop. But we do like that he's a faggot with a need for cock. Jeremy the quartering's a faggot with a need for cock. If he lost a couple pounds, he'd pass better than me, full stop. Needs to shave his shitty beard and go gay. In the trans community, she'd get so very fucking laid. That's a huge compliment. I'm literally saying Jeremy the quartering could go from internet incel to well-laid and well-paid within a few months of gender transition. Just like the smallest amount of... I don't even think Jeremy the quartering would actually have to change her appearance if she just shifted her pronouns. I think if Jeremy the quartering identified as a woman, that would be enough to get laid in the trans community. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Trans people, they don't like to fuck outside the trans community because they don't expect other people to understand, you know. But if you're trans, they're like, oh shit, you're my dating pool and you're human. Anyway, she should trade in her fake opinions and get a new set. Everybody knows she's fake and gay, just like her fans, I bet. This content isn't that vacuous. Bro, did you see the fucking video title I was reading in that short? Hold on, let's go to the Quarterings channel real quick. Let's look at the Quarter Pounder.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, I get it. You like Alex Jones. Woke Hollywood panics and suffers worst box office failure in 30 years as Furiosa tanks people fed up. That's all one title. I already tweeted about this. I'll give my answer to his opinions on this because he's blaming Furiosa's failure on people being tired of there being movies with female leads, which is obviously dumbass shit because just last year Barbie was a massive fucking success, continues to be a massive success on home video. People are very much into watching movies with female leads. I said I can think of 10 reasons that actually make sense for why Furiosa is bombing, unlike Jeremy the Quartering, who can't think. So let's talk about them because somebody then asked me, what are those 10 reasons? I don't think I actually listed 10 because that's more than a tweet, but you'll find my response here real quick. There's a lot of reasons, and I don't want to have to fucking remember them all off the top of my brain. He a fan, he a fan, he a fan. He a fan, he a fan, he a fan. Jeremy is definitely a fan. Especially in the bed. Fuck, where the fuck did I answer somebody asking me about this shit? I don't know, I'm losing my ability to care because I can't find it quickly. Instant regret. Deadbeat mom destroyed after video goes viral on TikTok claiming to be single mom. God, his titles are so fucking long. I like lose wind trying to get through them. You know, the reasons Furiosa bombed, I think I went over the... Oh, that's right, it wasn't a tweet. I did this last night as a rant on my stream. Never mind, I already did that rant. I forgot. Somebody paid me to talk about that. Right now, I'm getting really underpaid to talk about anything, and I'm not going to stop ranting about how... I'm not going to stop thirsting for the Quartering unless I get paid to rant about something else. So that's the only way you can change this radio station of non-stop talking about... It's been like 23 minutes of me just being thirsting for the Quartering right now, so... Is your obsession with Jeremy recently just because it's hilarious or because you're trying to start beef? Well, both. Definitely both. Jeremy the Quartering has taken Eric July's team in the great civil war of the shitlords, the internet shitlord. I don't think a lot of people in my audience really know what's going on because most of you are like innocent queers and like weird libs and fucking BreadTube fans and shit. I don't keep up with any of that. I keep up with shitlord content. So I watched, you know, The Dick Show, WATP, Biggest Problem in the Universe. That's my realm. The shitlord realm. Veto. The Vetoverse. And so in that realm, there are factions of shitlord. There's the conservative Christian shitlords who are all super grifters. And then there is the libertine sociopath shitlords. That's my crew. The ones who are like, everybody should do whatever they want all the time. That's my side of this shitlord war. And so the shitlord community has had it's been really split. Because you got a guy like Nick Rakita who started off on the Christian conservative side, but has become such a libertine sociopath that now it's creating waves between him and the really hardcore Christian conservative grifters. None of whom are real, by the way. None of them believe anything. But a lot of these people, a significant number of people who are a part of this universe, are basically all owned by the same people. All their money flows to the same places. We were watching this on stream the other day.
Just a little further.
But you see,
Expand.
all of these people. Let me get the brightness up on here. This is the sort of sphere of influence I'm talking about, where you've got all of these deeply interconnected. These are all right-wing, conservative, shitlord streamers. All of these people. Glenn Beck is sort of the godfather of the industry of this. And he's maybe somebody more of you have heard of, but because he's old media. But all of these new media guys, they're all heavily interconnected. They're all involved with each other, and money flows through this whole web. Now, what money doesn't flow to is reckless agents who will not play team sports, like Dick Masterson or Vito or me or Ethan Van Sciver or Riley. People who will not say, oh, well, I'm just gonna toe my party line and follow the money and say whatever I have to, however stupid it sounds. Like, we don't want to sound like fucking morons. We don't want to just say shit that's gonna make money because we're speaking to the lowest common denominator. That's what all these people are doing. So they don't like people like us. And we don't like them because they make a lot of money being shitty and lazy, and we work really hard for scraps. So if we can take the money, if we could take the audience from these people by just showing how fucking stupid and lazy they are, how much worse their content is, how much less they understand the world around them, then that's the only way to destabilize all this, is to make these people look as stupid as they are. Now, I look as stupid as I am on purpose. I am very revealing that I am as stupid as I am. These people don't want you to think they're stupid. They want you to think they're fucking really intellectual, worldly, wisdom-filled fucking little cult leaders. And, I know all that stuff is true about me, but I'm not trying to make you think so. You just think so because it's true. I'm trying to outgrift the grifters, basically. It's crabs in a bucket, and I'm looking at the crabs that are pulling at other crabs, and I'm going, hey, stop pulling that crab, motherfucker. Come play with me. We can sit in this bucket all day. I don't even need to leave the bucket. I like the fucking bucket. You want to fight at the bottom of this fucking bucket? We can fight it out all day, but you let that little crab get out of there. You let them little crabs go. You let go of them little crabs, you motherfucker. Stop poisoning the minds of our children with your bullshit, lazy ass. Anyway, that's why I don't like the quartering. Because his fans have to be children. They have to just be closet gay children. Like, he's not saying anything. No adult would listen to him. No adult would sit through a video with no content. I mean, they could be legally adults, but have the minds of children. The only people watching his videos are children and man-children who want to see a man they're attracted to tell them how not gay they are. That's the quartering experience, is a man with beautiful blue eyes tells you how not gay you are. And because he's fat, you don't think that he's, like, attractive, because you think that, like guys are only attractive when they're skinny, but chicks don't care, and neither do gay guys. Actually, it's more about, like, your figure and your face and how you carry yourself and your confidence, and the quarterings got that fat gay riz. There's no other way to describe his charisma. Like, I just don't think he has an appeal that isn't to closet gay mental children. That's the only people who could possibly appreciate his content. Okay, I'm gonna read some super chats now. Butthole Weeb with $5. Clip for YouTube, tier your favorite Butthole Weeb quote. Also win Me, You, Vic, and Hope hanging. Also analyze Love Live's impact on weebs. Cheers, I'm hammered. Motherfucker, it's noon where you are. Why are you hammered? Anyway, Butthole Weeb's got a habit of saying that he drops shows harder than his balls dropped when he was 12. It's just something he says all the time, and it stuck with me and Bird. Like, yeah, if you're gonna drop a show, you gotta drop it as hard as Landon's balls dropped when he was 12, which apparently was quite hard. Landon's balls must have really fallen from the fucking sky. They must have, like, Landon's balls must have, like, started off way out here, not even, like, heading towards Earth, not a part of its orbit, and then just kind of, like, got right on the edge of gravity and pulled all the way down to Earth, top speed. Like, it had to have been that hard for how often he talks about how hard his balls dropped when he was 12. It was probably like, like the New Year's ball drop, nothing. That shit's slow. That shit's not hard at all. Nothing like Landon's balls dropping when he was 12. And next up would be, do you eat ass? Do you watch anime? Classic branding. Butthole marketing master. Absolute marketing master. He has never stopped on his gimmick. It's been like 8 years of do you eat ass, do you watch anime? Everybody knows what Butthole Weeb's about. There's no questions, The Mystic are fixable with 2 pound. What is womanhood to you? Struggling to answer it. Not really anything significant. That's a funny way of saying that. That's not as opposed to manhood. Neither one is anything significant. I don't look at transness as like, I wish I was a woman, therefore I have to have a concept of a woman and then embody that. Not really. It's more like in my attempt to live as a man, deliberately changed my behaviors to act less true to myself because I thought I had to be a man. And on a psychological level, it's really, really difficult to break free of that without, like, basically, you have to look at society and say, like, okay, if I behave the way that's true to myself, and like everybody tells me that that's how a woman behaves, like, does that not just make me a woman? Like, woman is a made-up human concept. It has no, like, exact meaning. There's enough usual difference between sexes that people can usually just, like, as a blanket, it's not that difficult to be like, okay, men, women, whatever. They're mostly, for the most part, they can be categorized simply. But, like, they're lying. Like, when you actually try to divide the lines by accounting every single person that could fall into one category or the other, it's way blurrier. And since it's mostly a social construct, it leaves you in a position of, like, okay, well, if the way that I'm behaving, like, naturally seems feminine to people, then, like, what if I just leaned into that and was like, okay, does all my behavior now make sense if I say I'm a woman or dress this way or act this way or have tits, like, it seems like yes. The answer seems to be yes. My whole existence makes more sense to people because when I was trying to present as a man, there was no like rhyme or reason behind the performance. It's like a lack thereof almost. It's like, oh, well, if I was doing what I wanted to, you would all call me a woman, so I'm gonna do nothing, or I'm just going to pretend that nobody can see me. I used to live my life kind of just pretending nobody could see me. I would leave the house and then I would, like, get to where I was going and I would get out of the car and I would kind of look at myself and I would realize, like, I'm wearing a bathrobe and pajama pants and an oversized shirt. I've got, like, a giant beard. I look greasy, I look like a cross between some kind of strange homeless person and just a degenerate, And I would walk into, like, Barnes & Noble and just, like, try to pretend I couldn't see anybody, because if anybody was going to look at me, I didn't want to think about it. Because I wasn't going there trying to be, like, I wasn't going there trying to look standout. I just didn't pay attention to what I was wearing because I was so fucking dissociated. I wouldn't look at myself at all. I would never look in the mirror. For me, looking in the mirror, I'm actually right across from a full-length mirror right now. So if you see me glancing over that way sometimes, it's because I'm looking at myself in that mirror. Most of my life, I did not look at myself in the mirror at all. So, like, to me, it's like a new thing that's like, you know, and it's encouraging. It helps a lot. You know, you can reaffirm who you are and like try to be you because you see you and you're like, okay, that's me. That's who I am. I'll lean into that. You know, I think that's how most people live their lives. Like most people kind of identify themselves and then lean into being themselves. And for me, it's like I was trying to pull away as hard as I could for such a long time. And it's like a slingshot that finally just snapped and, you know, had to fly in the other direction, the way it's supposed to go. Anyway, this has gotten too, like, real and personal. Nobody's paying me anymore, and I'm not singing about how fuckable Quartering's face is. So we have to fix all of that, and I'm going to continue rapping about the Quartering's fuckable face until I get paid to do something else.
Jeremy the Quartering, his face is so dick-watering. I want to see a semen stream across that streamer's forehead. So pretty-eyed, imagine if he looked up at you with your dick inside his mouth. That little hole so tight and warm, I'm gonna come just at the thought. He's a thought, his videos are written by a bot. He's an op, compromised and caught. He's a cop, Jeremy the Quartering's a faggot with a need for cop. If he lost a couple pounds, he'd pass better than me, full stop. Needs to shave his shitty beard and go gay. In the trans community, she gets so very fucking laid. She should trade his fake opinions in and get a new set. Everybody knows she's fake and gay, just like her fans, I bet. Yeah. Alright, some super chats came in. Alright. Yeah. Super chats on the track, yeah. Making stacks cause it's fat. Day. Anathemy Badessi with $5. Rant about Log Horizon sub versus dub. Oh man. There's no way I could sit through the Log Horizon dub, but I do remember Nyanta having like an interesting voice. But like in Japanese, Nyanta is voiced by Joji Nakata, who is one of my favorite voice actors. So that's like reason enough just by itself to be like, well, obviously the sub's got to be better, right? It's got fucking Nakata Joji. It's got Alucard, you know? Although a lot of people think Crispin Freeman when they think Alucard, so whatever. Alright, here we go. Anime voice comparisons, Nyanta, from Behelit89, the voice comparison channel. His voice is like fine wine. Joji Nakata definitely got a pussy wettening voice. He's got as much of a pussy wettening voice as Jeremy the Quartering has a dick watering mouth. This guy sounds... He sounds cool, but it's a totally different character. He's... Okay, so... I do have a problem with this performance. Because Nyanta's not supposed to sound cool, specifically. He's supposed to sound old and nerdy. He's like an old, shitty, furry. Like, he's a furry. He says nya in every sentence he says. Like, the joke with Nyanta, he's a very, like, deep internet type of person where he speaks in, like, very old Japanese. So he's trying to sound, like, classy and cool, but while constantly making cat puns. So he's basically just, like, the most obnoxious type of a furry. But because he's a furry, and as we know, all furries are geniuses, they're all engineers, they're all scientists, they're all, like, a military. Everybody who's a furry is, like, somebody who turns the gears of society. So Nyanta very much has that personality. So I think, you know, it's
it's not just about the voice sounding cool or good. It's about like in what way. Nyanta's voice, it's Joji Nakata who has that buttery, silky, amazing voice. But a lot of like, you know, dumpy, weird, degenerate nerds have amazing voices on the internet. I've met some people like that, you know, so I've always kind of looked at it like a dude who probably in real life is like, you know, not good looking, not like suave or charismatic, but the character he plays is, and since he's embodied that character, he feels that way now. But he's also like 60-year-old man Oyaji Moe vibes too, you know, like it's definitely an age difference romance thing going on with like a super age difference romance thing with him and Serara. So anyway, Roger Ramos with 199. Please talk about being real and personal. It's tough. It is actually quite difficult. And I would say I haven't even gotten that real and personal. Like on these streams and such, I've only a little bit. I don't tend to get, I don't like talking about stuff that actually makes me emotional or stuff that I haven't sorted through my emotions about. So like you're almost never going to see me, you know, really talk about something that's too fresh. I mean, I got pretty emotional talking about my cousin's suicide the other day in the graveyard. And that was after a month and a half of calming down about it. You know, like I wanted to say most of what I said in that video right when it happened, but I wanted to say it much worse. Like I wanted to say it in a much worse way, you know? And I kind of pulled myself back and was like, this is not something I should talk about too emotionally. You know, I don't want to like get crazy, but like, you know, even then talking about it in the graveyard, there was a moment where I choked myself up and the only thing that drew me back to earth was a random transphobe in the comments I had to ban, and I was like, oh, all right, I'm here again. I'm back on the internet, you know, I'm back out of my feelings. But yeah, I don't usually talk about stuff that's like really going on, you know, because I don't want the internet in my business, you know. Having said that, there's nothing going on with me right now. Like you're basically seeing my whole life because I'm streaming all the time trying to make that money. So if that remains the case, it might be that you'll always be very close and personal with me, but I'm a boring person. What I do is when I'm not live streaming, I'm doing a lot of the same things I do on live stream, just sans the talking, you know? Like today I listened to music, smoked weed, sang along to music, performed some songs in the garage, you know? I ate an egg salad sandwich right before the stream. And I made and ate an egg salad sandwich. I don't have any interesting, crazy things going on with me right now that, and anything crazy that I have done that I haven't talked about, I will eventually. I just need the emotional distance. I need the distance to be able to fully look at my situation and, again, not say rash things. Like, especially when it comes to people that I have anger towards but also love towards. Like, there are some people where it's like, I don't want to make this person's life worse, but I also have been affected by them in a way that is compelling and that affects my personal, you know, my feelings and my story in a way that like it might have affected my behavior, and only in retrospect will other people be able to understand that if I eventually talked about that kind of stuff, you know? But I like to let history shake things out. You know, let history shake off the emotions and fixate on the literal. You know, like the emotion, you could talk about how the emotions happened and what they made you do. But like when you're still in those emotions, the way you will talk about them is like, I'm in action, like I'm in combat with, you know, like I'm fighting my emotions or something. And I want to talk about that kind of stuff after the dust has settled, you know? So that's why I've been going into my past a lot lately. Like when I was starting my YouTube career, I talked a lot about my upbringing in the form of like my taste and stuff I liked growing up, but not a lot about like the personal side of my life and what I was going through emotionally, just because I was trying to put most of that stuff out of mind. You know, like in my 20s, I was basically trying to forget everything up to that point. And then once I started transition, I really started analyzing my past to like figure out, how did I get here? You know, how did I end up the way I am? And it made a lot more sense to me. It's all stuff that's like, oh, okay, so if more people understood what my upbringing was like, I would probably make more sense to them. But I just don't think I understood like how unique my upbringing was until I was older. It's the kind of thing where you don't really understand how many people are different from you until you've talked to a lot of people and none of them have had the same experience you've had, you know? I don't remember what I was answering. That was a rant request, right? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, being real and personal. Thanks for that, Roger Ramos. Yeah, it's tough, especially because people, you know, the more raw you get, the more it hurts if somebody has an opinion about it. You know, like a big part of me being like in the closet for so long about even having trans thoughts at all is I didn't understand them, and I didn't want other people to affect, you know, my self-image and my self-worth by telling me things about that stuff. Like I didn't want to be open about like if I ever said like, oh yeah, I really wanted to wear like women's clothes, and then people started telling me you should, and then I did, and then people told me that I looked ugly, I would not have been able to handle it at the time. It took me being like, actually I'm comfortable being ugly, you know, like once I got to made the decision that I was comfortable being ugly, then everything else unfolded from there, you know. And I don't think I am ugly. I think I am a 5, as what's his name, Jim Jeffries would say. Oh, I am a 5, but I'm funny and charismatic, and that gives me like 2 extra points. So I'm like a 5 that bats at a 7 or 8 level, I think. Bird is like a natural 9 or 10. I don't know I don't know why he's attracted to me. I guess he just thinks I'm really cool. But Roger Ramos with 1-9. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's not that this is what I would choose to do. It's just what I do best, and therefore, it's what I do. That's another thing. Like being insecure about something that you do well is brutal in itself, you know. And I did after my last relationship, I got really insecure about sharing. Like that was a great example of something that in the moment was incredibly raw, and I didn't want to fucking talk about it. I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want my life to be dedicated to it in any way, you know. I was just like, I want to move on. I want to figure out what I'm doing now. And then, you know, when the dust settled, it's easier for me to go back and look at it and go like, okay, you know, I feel like I understand what happened here, and I can talk about it, you know. But at the same time, I don't want to go in depth about anything because other people are involved. And that's something that I didn't really appreciate early in my career, is the effect it has on others to talk about them. Like, basically all of my old friends that I put into my content at all, that I talked about at all, they are immortalized in that content. People are still today going and listening to, you know, live streams from 10 years ago, and then like forming opinions about the people in those live streams who long have forgotten that those streams ever happened, have none of the same things going on in their lives as back then, you know, like. But somebody might, out of the blue, who's a fan of me, start asking my old friends about their opinions of me. And they're like, I don't fucking remember that person. It's been 10 years, you know? Like, it's just, I didn't really appreciate that at the time, and my friends all did. Like, I could tell everybody around me was a lot more hesitant about talking about themselves, and especially, you know, throwing smoke, because I would just straight up talk shit about my friends on my podcast that they weren't even on. Like, I would be telling stories about shit that, you know, dumb shit my friends did on DigiBros, and like, from my perspective, it's like, oh, whatever. It's like 1,000 people in their room who are never gonna talk about this. Who gives a shit? But like, my friends would hear that stuff and they'd be like, you just made everybody, you just made 1,000 people's impression of me, the only impression of me that exists, this story, you know? I didn't really appreciate that side of it back then. So I try not to talk about people, you know, even if it would help to make more sense of my story, if I talk about somebody else in a way that they don't like, you know, I don't want to fuck up other people's time like that, unless they are like an op, like Jeremy the Quartering, you know, like that guy, I hate that guy. I would like him to quit the internet, you know, or change dramatically the way that he interfaces with the internet. So with somebody like that, you know, I don't have any personal experiences with Jeremy the Quartering, only in my fantasies in the shower. But I'm cranking it, thinking about him getting fucked across the table from me. Like, I'd be, you know, and Bird back here. So I'm getting fucked, and I'm looking across the table, and he's over here. He's getting fucked. But he's doing that face, you know, he's just keeping that glare, because he's trying not to look like he likes it. So he's just got that angry Kapora Gabora stare the whole time. I think that'd be fun I think it would be fun to be getting fucked, watching somebody else like trying their hardest to pretend they're not enjoying getting fucked. That's what I think Jeremy the Quartering's personality is like. Butthole Lee with $2. Fun thought. Add me on call. Let's do a Q&A for chat. No. No. I will make less money if I do that. Simply put, people want to hear me give unbroken rants and direct responses. And if you and I start talking, they will stop paying me. So that's not happening. Next time, though. That I don't mean next stream. I mean next time that I decide I'm bringing people onto a stream. My time is too valuable to have conversations with friends. I can only have conversations with money havers, payers, which you are also, but Butthole Weed, you should hold on to your money also. You should hold on to it. Don't spend it all on streams when you're drunk at 1 p.m. You thought this was Chris from Mr. Beast? Oh, I take that as a compliment because she's pretty cute. And I just literally released a short about her like today or yesterday, I think, about her being a transgender icon. Going full e-girl. By that you just mean dressing like a normal woman on the internet. Love the skirt, by the way. It's actually just shorts. This is a pair of like lounge shorts. I guess you could probably tell better in the back. I don't know. Still kind of looks like a skirt, doesn't it? It ain't a skirt though, but it feels like one, right? It can be the kind of flapper shape. Toss the tassels around. I got the shirt tucked in just because of it's got like a dark mark on it. I don't know if you can see that down there. Don't like that. Also, this shirt, it's actually kind of strange because it's like it feels like it's meant to be tucked in because it's kind of got that hip gap, you know, and it's weirdly long. Like this makes it so apparent how long my torso is, but this, you can't even tell that this is above my belly button. So how would you even know? It just looks like I got way more waist than I really have. That's the theory, anyway. The game theory. Take myself in that mirror over there. Get my tuck right. And the shirt, by the way, Buc-ee's. It's from the Texas gas station, the infamously massive Texas gas station. Just says Buc-ee's on it. Gary always with $2. Remember when e-girls were called cam whores? Hashtag 90s. Cam whores were, well, okay. I don't think of e-girls and OnlyFans girls as necessarily the same thing, but I don't know if people agree on this. I want to know what you think, like, I don't don't think of Mint Salad as an e-girl person. She is an e-girl, but also a porn actress. But cam whore implies that you're doing pornography. Like, so to me, those are like you could call Mint a cam whore because she does cam whoring. But you could separately call her an e-girl. You could call me an e-girl, but I'm not a cam whore because I don't do pornography. You know, so, and there's plenty of people who've only done one. Growing up, I knew people who did cam whoring, and I think that's the seediest world that I have ever heard of. It is the most, I'm incredibly glad I was never taken advantage of in such a way as to, I was terrified of porn on the internet as a kid, like, especially because when I was like 13, my parents got me a computer for my birthday that within 6 months my cousin had completely ruined with, LimeWire pornography and shit. I mean, probably it could have been fixed, but I didn't understand that at the time. I was a dumb kid. Didn't know how to communicate the problem to my parents. But, fuck, I lost track of what I was saying. Cam whores. Yeah, back then, like, I was always told, like, never go into a chat room, never go into any kind of video or call, like, never go into a call, never give anybody your real name, never give anybody your phone number. Like, I knew all that from a very young age. So it wasn't until, like, 2009 or 10 when I was even willing to make online purchases. Like, I didn't even use Amazon or eBay or any of that until well into their existence, because I was just, under the impression you don't buy things on the internet. It's too dangerous. I never know what's going to happen, who's going to get my information or whatever. And I'm very glad I had that impression, because the people I know who did do cam whoring, first of all, were all underage when they did it. Second of all, would have like hundreds of contacts of weird older men fucking, trying to get their attention and stuff. Just a really gross, seedy world. So, there needs to be a lot more documentary, a lot more, like, early internet is such an untapped source of stories. Like, all the fucking catfishing that happened, all of the fucking child pornography that people made of themselves, like, an unfathomably dark world. And I think our generation is maybe only just now even psychologically processing that all of this happened to us, But I think the e-girl, by comparison, is a very innocent thing. Like, you can be an e-girl without even showing your body, but you are still going to have probably way more creeps, like probably way more than you were dealing with before, and they're just as creepy. But you can make so much money off of those creeps that as long, and people know what they're getting themselves into. Everybody understands that they're getting themselves into like a world of degenerate creeps. But if you can manage it right, you can make a lot of fucking money in creep world. Yeah, I'm definitely a little bit of an attention whore, obviously, since I do a show like this. But it's more like, for me with attention, it's very much like I either want it or don't, and it's like, I usually don't want attention. Like, usually I go somewhere and I really try not to meet anybody in the eye. I really try to keep my conversations short. Like, I'm just not trying to make people think that I'm in the way or trying to do anything weird. I just want to be in and out, and with minimum intrusion. That's usually my goal in life. But when it comes to performing on the internet, that's like the opposite of what will make you successful. So I basically try to play a character that is like all of the intrusive thoughts, all of the the chaos that's in my mind, and it's therapeutic to do. But like, if I was just talking to one person, that person has to shoulder the burden of being able to keep up with this conversation, and like, they have to be able to pay attention, they have to be able to respond, And like when I was growing up, you know, I would just thought dump on Vic or my cousin, and they would just you know, and I didn't know what was happening at the time, but they were just dissociating out of most of what I was saying. You know, they would just start thinking about something else and just kind of let me go. And when I got to a point where I realized, like, there's not a person who's going to listen to every word I have to say. It's not real. Yeah, I met somebody once who pretended that they were doing that all the time, but eventually it became evident that they were also just ignoring me, just doing a better job of pretending to listen than most people. So as long as I have like a large enough group of people where people don't need to be paying exact attention to me the whole time, I can kind of bounce between people and just be really ADHD about the interaction. That actually is just easier for me than talking to one person or a couple, like, because it puts me at the center of it, where like, now if I was like doing this and there were people having like a little conversation, like the way you guys talk in chat, I can ignore that if you're having like a sub conversation, but if that was happening audibly, I would get annoyed. You know, I would be like, oh, I can't focus on what I'm saying because you guys are fucking talking about this thing, and now I'm starting to think about that thing you're talking about, you know. So like there does have to be some level of like, I'm at center stage, all eyes are on me, it's about what I'm talking about, for it to really work the way I want it to work. But I'm not asking everybody to be giving their full attention to me. They could be dissociating, thinking about other shit, you know, go on your phone or whatever, just as long as it doesn't disrupt what I'm doing, you know? So that's what I like about this type of internet communication, is I can basically just go uninterrupted. You can either tune out or tune in or whatever, and there's enough people that roll the dice. Someone's paying enough attention to continue the conversation as we go, you know? And it keeps my energy going when I'm feeding off of so many different people. And like, you know, my parents are both very ADHD. They both tune out of a conversation quickly. So if I try to talk to them, I have to basically like get all the points out as quickly as possible. And as soon as I start rambling or spiraling, my mom will start getting annoyed. She'll be like, all right, what's the point you're making? You know, I'm trying to think about my own things. Why are you still talking? You know, my dad will just full on, if something else enters his mind, he forgets he was talking to you immediately. Like if he realizes something, like let's say he's, you know, doing like working on his bike or something, and I'm talking to him and he's kind of paying attention, but then he realizes something's like off, he's totally forgotten that we were talking the second that happened, you know? So that's the level of like you know, if I'm trying to talk to people in my personal life, I have to be like really cognizant of their attention level if I want to actually communicate something to them, you know, which most of the time I do not try. If it's frivolous, I don't try. I'm just not gonna have a frivolous conversation with somebody who's not paying attention, you know. That's too much for me. But this, I can be frivolous all day and pretend you're paying attention whether you are or not, and chances are somebody will pay me to say something at some point. But for now, I'm gonna go pee, so I'm just gonna play. What should I play while I go pee? Oh, I've got my music open right here. Let's see. I'll put on Bitches That Wanna Mosh. Alright, I gotta go pee.
little bitches that want it, mom.
I think my dad's about to come to the garage. No more of that. I can hear him out there. I assume he's plugging in the electric car. I'll turn the camera this way because if the door opens, I don't want a location box. Oh, Ellen, with the doll pics, I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know if it's my fault that you found yourself in that rabbit hole, but yeah, at some point, who is it? No, it's somebody else's fault that I fell into this too. Somebody like retweeted 5 or 6, just like really cute. It's always like, just dolls wearing some kind of cute outfit. Accounts not realizing they post constantly, and I'm like, well, I'm not like, dolls is not my hobby. Like, I don't need this to be my whole feed is fucking dolls. I just thought they were kind of cute, like, I don't got the kind of money to spend on dressing up. I'm my own dress up doll, I'd rather buy clothes, of which I don't really have. I have a lot of clothes, but they're all hand-me-downs or old or cheap. So I'd like to own nicer clothes, not like designer clothes. I frown upon those kinds of frivolous expenses, but more practical clothes, stuff that doesn't immediately stain or fall apart, like this, like all my cute band shirts or location shirt, the shirts of places I go that I just have because that place was cool and the shirt's like mildly cute, but usually overpriced and not really good quality. Ooh. Yeah, the giant tea bottles. They're different though, because these are Wawa green tea, and Wawa barely ever carries the diet green tea rather. They barely ever carry the diet green tea anymore, and so Milo's is more expensive, and it's not green tea. It's just 0-calorie sweet tea. It is good, but it doesn't have as much of a soothing throat effect as green tea, which is a part of why I like diet green tea. I both get what I'm looking for is caffeine, the taste of artificial sweetener, and the mouth-soothing effect of green tea. That's why diet green tea is so perfect. Like, it's good for your throat, it's caffeinated, and it tastes like sugar without having sugar in it, which means 0 calories. Aspartame. It's full of aspartame. I like the taste of aspartame. This has all but the throat soothing. I mean, it's a little soothing, but not nearly as soothing as green tea. So, it's like a secondary, and it's more expensive, I think. Well, maybe not. Maybe not, because it comes in a gallon. So yeah, it's probably cheaper than Wawa green tea overall, but Wawa green tea sells in half gallons for like $2.50 each, and that thing's like $3.50 for a gallon, so it is actually cheaper. Whatever. I miss Wawa diet green tea. They barely ever have it though. If I had money, I'd rather save all of it or spend it on Chinese IEMs, no middle ground. What's an IEM? I'm looking it up. In-ear monitors? Musicians, audio engineers, and audiophiles listen to music or hear personal mix of vocals and stage instrumentation for live performances. I see, okay. Stuff you wear on stage when you're performing. Why Chinese IEMs? Are they really good or really cheap? Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. I guess nobody has super chatted me another rant request, and the chat's kind of dead right now, so maybe we have to do another performance about how fuckable Jeremy the Quartering's face is. What do you all think? Is it time for another Jeremy the Quartering's fuckable face rap performance? Jeremy the Quartering's dick watering face. Is it time for that? Nobody has said a single word. Is it time for that? I need answers. I need dialogue. Wake up! Grab a push up and a little makeup! I just got the video where the shake up! Why are you leaving the kids on the table? Here you go, where's the table? You order! You there? Okay, it's time. Let's go.
Jeremy the Quartering, his face is so dick watering. I wanna see his semen stream across that streamer's forehead. So pretty, I'd imagine if he looked up at you with your dick inside his mouth, that little hole so tight and while I'm gonna come, just at the thought. He's a thought, his videos are written by a bot. He's an op, compromised and caught. He's a cop. Jeremy the Quartering's a faggot with the need for cock. If he lost a couple pounds, he'd pass better than me, full stop. He used to shave his shitty beard and go gay in the trans community. She did so very fucking late. She should trade in her fake opinions and get a new set. Everybody knows she's faking gay, just like her fans, I bet. Oh, even your fans are faking gay. That's crazy. My fans are real and gay, which is better than being fake and gay. By like 20 times 3 to the highest power. Yeah. Blessed with intelligence, that's why I live without limits. And when I spit, you listening to hear the lessons said within my manic fits of inspiration. Guide the stations and the pens, pins and needles through my skin and driven stakes through both my hands. I never was and no, will never ever be the man. I'm a super villain killer, cleverly concealing plans. I'm the evil voice inside your head that wants you to advance. Realize all of your friends are dead as you exit the trance. I never had an advance or a budget, but I got a huge catalog because fuck it, I can rap better broke than you can with money. I'm the fucking bee, they come to me to get the honey. Funny how I body everyone on every track. I feature creature from the Black Lagoon with a box of goon and a Bluetooth speaker. Double feature with my other personality. Finishing this bar is the fatality. She's a devout rhyme slanter. She bout the banter. No account for candor. No amount of slander could be daunting to the dancer. Prancer in the fields wearing zero shields. Hero in field, bruised banana field. Questions what you feel. Are you really real? Are you really real? Huh. I believe in some of us, I'm not so sure about the others. If I had my brothers cut through them like butter on a hot ass night, right for the list of brothers you do not class highly enough to call me mother. But you're still just a baby. Sleep well and skip the gravy. Call me maybe if you need help. Call me maybe. Ah, it's the honey. It's the honey. Nah. Where does being gay and dead rate compared to fake and gay and real and gay? Well, I think being gay and dead is like more generational, you know? I think I'm part of the dead gay generation, but I'm also part of the gay revived generation. I'm the monster reborn, you know? So if you're faking gay, you just gotta, I mean, if you're faking gay, you gotta become real and gay. If you're real and gay, you might be gay and dead, but you can be the monster reborn if you try. Oh god, this beat fucking slaps. This part of the beat, I keep forgetting it's there. And every time I hear it, I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, it's so good. Regulatory, the glory goes to the goddess, and I'm in charge of this game. So I proclaim and I promise dishonesty. I bet that you respected it probably, but the way that I do it is strictly considered anomaly. I can't remember the next line. Shit. Fuck. Yo, here's some bars I just wrote. Weirdo, but I got no fucking fear though. Spear throat, leave you speaking through a spear hole. Homo, gayer than jet jaguars. 2 dads, 2 men.
mad pet jaguar, bite the hand that feeds, rip until it bleeds, spit a couple teeth, fang as long as cleaver, angled at your beaver, snitch disbeliever, clip through your team, hurt everything around me. I'm a crazy, crazy, crazy bitch. Listen closely, cause I probably dissed you. And that's as far as I got through that issue just there. Yeah. Peep the style and the kids checking for it. Number one question is, how could you ignore it? Okay, well, I still don't have a super chat rant request, so there's no choice but to keep singing raps, I guess. Mm-hmm. Fuck. The lyrics are supposed to start right at the beginning of this song. But I'm so deep in the groove that we're gonna go back and do it again. Hold up. How do I restart the song on this app? Hold up in a fog, in a foggy city like a groggy kitty. Got cuffed in a dizzy in the back of a Honda City. On the way to something pretty right past the city. On the way to the toll booth, on the way out of the city. And got me kitty in a bank, in a big old bag of dank. And my best friend Frank here with me just singing along to my popular songs and calling it that's good shit, chick. See, baby, deep in the ball, but I'm gonna get unreasonable. If you try to get a squeeze on me, go, baby, deep in the hole. But I got another reason to blow, so you know I gotta keep in the flow, lady Loki. Reap what I sow when I plant my sheep. When I mean people crazy that you follow me, but I'm bound to repeat. Because for cold, it's cold up there. There's bears and shit, so please beware. And do take care, and do stay woke and wary. Token, carry, choked and buried. Choked and buried. Choked and buried. I forgot a lyric in this song. Maybe deep in the bow, but I'm gonna get on reasonable. If you try to get a squeeze on me, though, maybe deep in the hole, but I got another reason to blow. So you know I gotta deep in the flow, lady, but I keep deep what I sow when I find my sheep. When I meet people crazy, they can follow me, but I'm out for deep, so we just look gold. Maybe deep in the hole, but I'm gonna get a reason to blow. If you try to get a squeeze on me, though, maybe deep in the hole, but I got another reason to blow. So you know I gotta keep with the flow, lady, but keep deep what I sow when I find my sheep. When I meet people crazy, they can follow me, but I'm out for deep, so we just look cold. It's cold up there. There's bears and shit, so please beware, and do take care, and do stay woke and wary, choked and carry, broken, scary, choked and buried, choked and buried, choked and buried, choked and buried. Maybe deep in the ball, but I'm gonna get a reason to blow. If you're gonna get a squeeze on me now, maybe deep in the hole, but I'm gonna get a reason to blow. So you know I gotta keep the flow, lady, don't keep deep for the soul when I find my sheep. We got people crazy, they can follow me, but I'm bound for peace, so we just look cold. can tell where that beat comes from, right? There's like a recognizable sample, I hope. So that song was fucking everywhere. Like 7 years ago, the one that I sampled in that. It's slowed down, so it might not be super recognizable. Let me play it one more time, just a little bit. Might be over now, but I feel it still. That's where that comes from. I have to pee again, so I'm gonna play another song. Going hard like that kind of drains you, drains your inner bags. Maybe when I get back, somebody will have requested me something to rant about, and I won't just continue jogging in place like a psychopath. What's on Best Hour of Trial of the Golden Witch? That sounds like good stuff. Yeah.
I used to only rise when the sun went down. I blacked out all my curtains, and now I'm uncertain where the days begin and end. I won't pretend that it really matters all that much to me. You knew me to be isolated, but I can't even be sated by the light. It's overrated. Get beyond the black lights and driving beats. Only in a dark world that I feel complete. I want to trash me. Find a stash, please. Could use some jack, please. An ashtray by the vent with a fan nearby just to hide the scent. They collect the rent will get bent out of shape by the language. The flies in my face from the mouth so complacent. Fans who are mad that I asked for some payment, saying to crawl out of my mother's basement. Well, here's the truth. I make enough to keep my roof, and I didn't doing everything I love to boot. And it's all because I know how to connect my troops to the few who can afford to support the moves that I'm making towards the vacant part of your heart that you need to make it. I'll speak life right into your mind for your sake and mine, and you'll find I can never fake it. Preach the truth. Acid Girl, Black Rose, 2017.
Beating up the lungs again before I let the fun begin. I got to let the motor spin a bit before I stop the wheel. My heart could heal a bit, but I wouldn't know what to do with it if I didn't have some direction. Naturally, my inflection tends to reflect an infection of desperation to disperse the tension. Immerse myself, you'll have my retention. Catch me in the mentions.
Captivating vacant. You must have left these holes on purpose, cause I only fit. Want is such a benefit. Yeah. Eno said the silence was just as important as the noise, and I feel like it's quiet next to jumbo jets and paranoia running through me like a mummy with a shitty pacing, also washed away and distant like the center is erasing. I've been pacing back and forth as long as I remember, making people nervous cause I can't remember where I'm going. So I get a sense of the surroundings till I see a sparkle sending me towards something that I now decided I was in pursuit of. What you knew of me was what I said, and all I meant. If there is more than I would say, then I'll say it all again. I can't be asked to sort the signal from the noise just for the boys. I've got these girly quakes and maybe I enjoy it. Captivating vacancies. In desperation as I seek the beat, I don't know what to eat, because I don't know what I want to be exactly. Manufactured identities peddle their findings. The light is blinding from the church of reality. My dark sign burns when I stand in the sun too long. In the shadows I live on and on and on. Captivating vacancies! The absence is the evidence, the contrast is the relevance. The answer is I'm fucking better than that other thing that you just said. And I would only say it if I thought it's to your benefit. To know what's fucking good for you when everyone is someone's fed. And every unraveling presents a mess of new loose ends. So tell me, what you tied to? Why is it so important? What's your motive? Why did you choose me when time is money and the money's voting? Captivating vacancies. Like what's behind the eyes of every candidate and every voter, every Batman, every Joker sitting at the game of poker like it isn't Pong. Bounce my titties all day long and sing about a dick I'll never suck. Talk about all of the girls I could but wouldn't never fuck. Act like everything was built, it was all the stroke of stupid luck. With the God who blessed me lives inside my head on the same bunk. No, that's enough. I got a super chat. Autumn Haunted with £2. Thoughts on Flash games, history/favorites. All right. I love Flash games. In the early days of the internet, God, I don't even know if these were on Flash, but I would play games on, like, the earliest stuff I remember is the Pokemon website, because they would have, I mean, I remember, like, crossword puzzles and stuff like that, like word finds, and I think probably Flash operated that Pokédex, because Pokemon website had, like, a fully functional Pokédex. It was really cool. So that's the first stuff I remember, and then using the Gorillas website, they had, like, little Flash games on there in, like, the year 2000, and at the time when Flash games really blew up, most of them were, like, very edgy, and I kind of avoided all that. Like, I didn't want to play all the hyper-violent, like, games, or a lot of them were competitive and stuff. Like, I remember playing in class, like, the arrow shooting ones, where you'd try to angle yourself to hit the other guy, you know? That was always really popular with kids in middle school, when I was in middle school, and, it's kind of fucking hot in this garage. I'm taking my shoes off. That's better. Ground is hard, but I don't know why I moved the camera up. I got shorter by taking my shoes off. But yeah, I was never as big into Flash and browser games as, like, a lot of people my age in those years, because I already had, like, an N64, eventually a GameCube, so, like, I played more console games. But later on from that, like, I can remember a lot of, like, around 2010, I was getting really into, like, playing lots of just free browser games and random, like, short indie-made games. Some of them are not Flash. Like, I'm thinking about Knit Stories. That is not a Flash game, I don't think, but it's, like, just an indie game you can download. But similar to that is stuff like KOLM and Endeavor and Timefuck or Kfuck or whatever, Kfuck from Edmund Macmillan. Oh man, I'm trying to think of some more. I've played a lot of Metroidvanias, like any kind of browser-based Metroidvania. I remember, like, This Is 2010 and Don't Look Back, and I remember all these because I wrote about them, by the way. So, like, the era where I really played a lot of browser games, most of them I talked about on my blog. My sword is unbelievablydull.wordpress.com. If you go back to 2012, right before I started doing YouTube, I was doing, the main way I was covering stuff was that basically every so often I would just do a big roundup of everything I'd consumed and give small reviews of it. So it would be like, you know, everything I watched in the last 2 months, and then I would just micro review everything. So I covered a lot of Flash games in that time, because 2012, before I started covering My Little Pony, I was going to become a gaming YouTuber. I just never quite found a lane. I was planning to be the adventure RPG, or adventure action RPG. That was my original gaming series. And so my plan was to be, like, the action RPG YouTuber. And thankfully that person exists now, K-Bash. So, you know, I don't need that role. K-Bash just completely fulfilled it to a degree I never even could imagine. So, you know, I feel like all the lanes I would have had in gaming, somebody is doing it well enough that I'm not worried about it. Matthew Matosis is the best, just raw, conceptual analyst of video games. Noah Caldwell-Gervais is the best, like, gonzo-style, journalistic, personal take on video games. K-Bash covers the games that I would want to cover. So, like, all of those are, you know, people you can just watch instead of me being a video game analyst. But yeah, I did cover some browser games back in those writings, and so anything I'm not remembering right now, I'm sure is in there. I feel like there's a recent browser game that I enjoyed.
I respect Cookie Clicker. I think Cookie Clicker is brilliant. I didn't ever really play it much, but it always made me happy. There was a while that Bird had Cookie Clicker just like open regularly on his laptop. Whenever I would open it up and I would see it there and see the number go up, I'd be like, yeah, there's even more cookies. Ellen, I'm glad to see you doing the Forever 16 meme like Kikukoi no way. You don't know Cookie Clicker? It's a game where you click on a cookie and the number goes up. And then eventually you use those cookies to buy like operating facilities that make it so you're generating well, first you buy clickers that will click every second for you, and then once you've got enough clickers, it's just basically continuing to raise your. It's a game about what investing theoretically should look like if you never lost any, except for when you were spending on expenditures. But like you can guarantee you will always have profit in perpetuity. If that was the way, it's like an idealized version of capitalism, basically. All the fun, none of the bad part. I didn't talk about the last part of your super chat. Which part? Which one, Landon? Let me go back. How long back was this? Let's do a Q&A for chat. Are you not talking about... I thought you were saying you wanted me to add you on call to do a Q&A for chat. Or am I talking about the wrong super chat? I mean, the chat is always a Q&A. It's people pay to ask me questions and then I give answers. So it's always a Q&A in the chat. It's a Q&A right now. I recently became a quarter centennial to steal Trixie's phrasing from a few years ago. Well, that happens to be on this album. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. That's a song you can do without having to take a lot of breaths. I think it's on this album. Did I not put quarter on my best of collection? Because I feel like it belongs here. I wonder why I didn't. Maybe because I'm not... No, that doesn't make sense. I don't know why quarter centennial is not on my best hour of trial legal, which I feel like it definitely have to make a different like best hour of trial legal, which parentheses my opinion changed. All right, that fucking classic System of a Down sample. I should not need lyrics for this. I don't know why I bothered opening them. Overprotected, now I'm disaffected. Quarter centennial, still feeling like a kid, treated like I know shit. Already a pro, this lightness is unbearable. I didn't even notice. I've been so back in the back of my mind. All of a sudden, we'll look at the time. Coming up off of that triplet rhyme, so I can define every times with his mind. See too much when I took that blunt. I had a little hunch, but it blew up. Figuring I know your trigger, so back the fuck up. I use it as a gun if you strap the fuck up. Prep for the comments with a bullet belt. Twin integration was a trip through hell. You sound a little better when I push the pipe down. Steady in my crosshair when you choose to ride down the wrong lines. Now you gotta pay fines, starting with your lifeline. Pay with my respect to the Lord of hell when they got you by the neck. Tell them you were sent by the gaze of the dead. Overprotected, now I'm disaffected. Quarter centennial, still feeling. I'm almost 33 now, so probably wouldn't do this one live in person. Bearable, I didn't even know. I only know. Oh, I started too early. I forgot there's a double hit here. The centennial, still feeling like a kid, treated like a no shit. Already a pro, this life is still unbearable. I didn't even know. I only know death when it nickels at my mind. I'm blind to the kind of
stress that still binds most peers to the earth in their tiny spaces. Never see me out in those open places. My gonzo knows it can seek a trueness. I've gone so long only feeling useless. I don't wanna come back home again till I round that age up towards the 10. Oh, what do you know? I'm in my 30s and I'm at home, like I said in the song. It's almost like I write my future in my head. Still feeling like a kid. In fact, I have a song about that too. Whoa, this lightness is unbearable. I didn't even notice that the song was over. I just kept singing it. One really important line in this song.
The stats, they don't need rhymes, they need the sounds of their kind. My visions of the road sign. Everything I write is like a boomerang. Throw it in the heat and catch it like it's just a cold thing. Really hate people. I keep them from going postal on anything but a people. I keep them from losing their goddamn minds. They don't
This is the
need
important
rhymes, they
lyric
need the
from
sounds of their kind. My visions of the road sign.
Everything I write is like a boomerang. Throw it in the heat and catch it like it's just a cold thing. Say it like I knew it all along because I know things. Tonic how I flow because I know it gets you floating. But my bread and butter is the schizo-curate stare. I got the eyes, I got the glare, and if you staring up it leads you deep into the dark. I live like this so I don't have to lark. I hit the lighter and I spark another landscape into mandates of the cottage industry. I built on Interstate 93 in my brain. My train of thought just rides along the synapse that I bought for sale on Craigslist. Broke the second that I invented, but it's still better at thinking than you've gotten at pretending. You're interested in being lent, I'm interested in spending. You're interested in feeling spent, I'm interested in trending. Don't want you riding on my wave, I want you interesting. I surf it in the way you crave, so you do what you best, king, and shake the earth until I got a tidal wave worth cresting. Ooh, that's such a good line, I forgot about it. Fuck. Do what you do best, king, and shake the earth until I've got a tidal wave worth cresting. Fuck! Totally forgot about that lyric. Everything I write is like a boomerang. I throw it in the heat, I catch it like it's just a cold thing. That's the one I caught just there. I've been thinking about the boomerang line for a long time, but I hadn't even caught that fucking tidal wave worth cresting line. Fuck. It's really good. Do that. That thing I said in that bar, do that. What you do best, and give me a tidal wave worth crest, or shake the earth, give me a tidal wave worth cresting. Do that. Please. If you can. You know, by any means necessary. I want to rap about how gay quartering is again. Oh, but whole weed was $2. Okay, gotta make B relive me. Play Idion OP, my vibe, alright. I doubt I will get copyright claim for the Idion OP, right? I don't know. Maybe I will. We'll find out. Oh shit. It's going off. Yeah. Hey, you're home. You've been home? Oh, I guess it's already 2:50. I've been streaming for a while.
I know. Oh.
I'm playing the Idion OP because Landon told me.
I could have guessed why you were playing.
You want to be sure you want to say that?
Hello.
This is my Jeremy the Quartering first stream. I don't know if you saw that part. I wrote a rap about Jeremy. Gotta go to the bathroom to play another song. Actually, I'll just play all of Rogalian Pet.
pictures measured in the human population. Empty stations built to house an empty nation. Versus on the demons. Evil is the mission and I'm scheming. Plotting how to get more rotten. Missive to your brain. And convince you that you're insane. Planet versus on the demons. Evil is the mission and I'm scheming. Plotting how to get more rotten. Missive to your brain. And convince you that you're insane. I'm the bane of your existence because I'm so convincing. My argument's intensive. My ego water hissing. I play the fucking brilliant. I love it by the millions. I hate it by the billions. I made it become a business. My lane is always open, so I always choose my speed. And my heart is always open, so I find what I need. I'm the right thing at the right time when you need to recline with the feelings sublime with the spirit divine. Planet versus on the demons. Evil is the mission and I'm scheming. Plotting how to get more rotten. Missive to your brain and convince you that you're insane. Planet versus on the demons. Evil is the mission and I'm scheming. Plotting how to get more rotten. Missive to your brain and convince you that you're insane. You're insane. You're insane. You know. You're insane. You're insane. You know. You're insane. You're insane. You know. You're insane. Like a Snoop while you doing doggy style. 50 runs like a booty grooving to the idle wild. While we out and out of wild, smoking on some wild brown weed on the scene, making drink and making loud sounds, fucking up the whole town, rolling up the ghost towns, cutting up the whole sound, showing up the brown brown. Habanero ketchup, fucking got me messed up. She on top, she's still my shawty. Fell at the bar, she's got that phony. Homie, let me give you air and throw me. Homie, if you got a bag, it's show me. Homie, there's a lot of baggage you hold it. Leave it for the trash, you stack this morning. Homie, all over the land with the homie. And I give a package and now we're all
Number 2 mellow, yeah, he's good.
Here come the worst thing that happened in rap since Ben Shapiro. Don't feel the snow, this is absolute zero. The hero of the villains, I'm high and fucking chillin'. Here with the silver grilling, just let me cook. Got my teeth all crook, and my eyes all red. Play by no one's book, it's all in my head. Babble like a brook, bake until I'm bread. I am not a crook like the bad man said. They hate cause I'm a chick with a dick, but they love me when it's all in their lips.
Especially Jeremy the Quarterly.
They hate cause I'm a chick with a dick, but they love me when it's all in their lips.
Especially Jeremy the Quarterly.
They hate cause I'm a chick with a dick, but they love me when it's all in their lips.
Especially Jeremy the Quarterly.
They hate cause I'm a chick with a dick, but they love me when it's all in their lips. Especially Jeremy the Quarterly. I'm a flagging, dragging, also I'm hagging, also I'm bragging. Used to be a has-been grabbing. Dollars by the pound, by the yen, by the shekel, fill a wagon. All the pain I rake when I heckle, but I'm bagging. 50 cousin crazy, imagine I'm up for my bed. I'm gonna help to my bag, bitch green, and I carry that green, so you know that I mean when I sing, when I'm gagging. They hate cause I'm a chick with a dick, but they love me when it's all in their lips.
Especially Jeremy from the Quarterly.
They hate cause I'm a chick with a dick, but they love me when it's all in their lips. Especially Jeremy the Quarterly. They hate cause I'm a chick with a dick, but they love me when it's all in their lips. Especially Jeremy the Quarterly. They hate cause I'm a chick with a dick, but they love me when it's all in their lips. Especially Jeremy the Quarterly.
I modified that song a little bit.
I've been cruising along this life. When I get hungry, I just bite. Take what it takes to stay alive and give it back to all my guys and gals and non-binaries. Whatever thought you Gary, stash it. That's my gift tonight. Pick four and make it a fight. When I swipe, I take it all with me. Hands so sticky. How'd I end up with this beat? Can't keep lifting, so I keep shit in house where I make history. Find me at Cumberland Gap in a dress and a sun hat, hiking up and down the pass or in the Prius doing dabs.
That line was originally, when I swipe, I take it all with me. Hands so sticky. How'd I end up with this beat? Can't keep lifting, so I keep shit. So we keep shit in house where Dave makes history. Because this was originally written for a Sucker Punch song, but never ended up using it. So I changed it because I produced this song to I keep shit in house where I make history. Although Dave features on this song. Dave played the guitar in the background that's like, you'll hear it if you listen really carefully at this end.
gap in a dress and a sun hat. I get up and down the pass or in the Prius doing dabs. Find me at the bowling gap in a dress and a sun hat. I get up and down the pass or in the Prius doing dabs. Find me at the bowling gap in a dress and a sun hat. I get up and down the pass or in the Prius doing dabs.
It is audible in there, but it's low in the mixture. It's not in there right now. It'll come in when the...
Find a little lady in the shade
Not
of the
yet,
park
not
and say, hey, Nina, let's stay till dark.
When the beat shifts again, you'll hear this piano
in the park and say, hey, Nina, let's stay till dark. Find a little lady in the shade of the park and say, hey, Nina, let's stay till dark. Find a little lady in the shade of the park
And then there's also this like...
let's stay till dark.
There's a lot going on in there. There's a lot I mixed into that beat.
Ride a beat like a big dick petite chick, bulging at the belly with my butt split, cup hits, grip tightly when the cum hits, sub rips, do me while you do me up the rum sips, hum this tune while you screw and go harder, park her body, little shorty like a martyr, stop the water getting drippy like a faucet, slap that ass at the moment she drops it, laughs that brass, sexy sex, I sweat, kiss on my neck, make a fist from my chest, grip like a shacky that makes the best, bounce on the balls till it's all my stress, blast that brass, sexy sex, I sweat, kiss on my neck, make a fist from my chest.
This $10, thank you very much from GT. It just says X. I don't know what X means, but I appreciate the $10. Thank you very much.
I lick, I suck, I fuck, I cup the balls and swallow. I'm a real tough act to follow. I can tort, distort, contort, and hold the fort. I'm not tall or short, but I'm small and warped. Walk around in tiny shorts when it's warm and excess tea. Skinny bitch, you can put my knees behind my head. Grind the springs off my bed, pack a huge cock in the back of my head and solve my stress. Solve my stress.
Just imagine Jeremy the Quartering singing.
Solve my stress. Solve my stress. Let me just attest that I get the best thing. Tell me when I need it, every come inside. I got nothing to hide, get you all inside.
Picture him saying that.
Fuck me when I need it, Eddie, come inside. I got nothing left to hide, need you all inside. Won't you fuck me when I'm begging, Eddie, come inside. You can think me hella right when I'm all inside.
I already sang this. I already sang that. I sang that earlier. I sang that. I did that on a different beat earlier. Already cyphered. How's the elated Eric gentleman doing? He is in Kentucky, in our room in Kentucky.
I don't like too many bitches, so I keep it close. I like way too many places, so I'm coast to coast. They say that you do too much, I said I do the most. It's a TRIXIE, the fucking goat, yo. Trixie on some other shit. Trial of the golden witch, holding this bitch hostage in the mosh pit. Cop this flow, feel your head getting knocked in, locked in, targets in the scope. Gonna blow, gonna blow. No, I don't need to peel your skin back, but the click clack of the hi-hat like a gat blasting on the backspin of the classic trap shit that I sit here maxing. Little biscuit with a relaxing, slip into a slip knot when I need action. I'm a silicon, me never calmly on a mic, getting rough like a gruff Rob zombie. Probably plotting my diligent escape plan in a grave air by the cave in, waving to the day one bands and the humdrum bands I made in my mistake waste. I'm a killer cake, I'm a thief fake, I'm a scene quake. I shake like way too much, and so I'ma make a fuss, I'ma make it up. I'm invincible, I'm victorious, and it's glorious, bitch.
I don't know how, I kind of injured my foot. Feels like I popped it.
I've been a rap geek since around when I was 9. When Missy got a freak on T-Request Live. Timbaland, Ludacris, Lil' Kim on the vibe. Was a lady mama live way before I had a job. The real Slim Shady was like my baby book. I learned more than hooks, and the nooks and crannies up in my brain got filled up with the flow from Forgot About Dre. This is when Jay-Z and DMX were going crazy. Kanye West was a little baby, and I could recite the whole poke rap. I still cop to that, for real. Linkin Park taught me breath control. Rest in peace, my hero, Chester. I don't like too many bitches, so I keep it close. I like way too many places, so I'm coast to coast. They say that you do too much, I said I do the most. It's a TRIXIE, the fucking goat, yo. I don't like too many bitches, so I keep it close. I like way too many places, so I'm coast to coast. They say that you do too much, I said I do the most. It's a TRIXIE, the fucking
Will I make a song over the Idion OP album? Pay? I mean, I could like sample it and make a song. You don't gotta pay. But probably be better to get somebody who's a producer to make a beat out of it and have them give me that beat.
Straight cis bitch, get down like a translate, stripped to the moonlight, scratching the bargain, and might, all try, ignite, and get a life. Arch in the back, arch swing it back like the St. Louis Arch, really marching it back, really smacking the sack, really marking it, tracking the track, attacking it.
This whole album is on YouTube. I mean, the there's every single song has a lyric video on YouTube, and there's a comp of all the lyric videos, all on this channel, buddy. But all of this is right here on my YouTube channel, and also on Bandcamp, and also on Spotify. Oh, I gotta add my Spotify to my link tree. I can't believe I didn't think about that. I can do that right now. I got a laptop right in front of me. That's right, I'm doing real work right now. Stuff that like matters. Okay, add link. Yeah, and then I call that bitch but like I'm Denzel Curry, rap just like I'm in a hurry, cause I'm rushing to the top, rush like fury. Just from my curries and my anime chicks, going animate dicks, looking animate dicks. Bitch from the golden witch all day, cause you know that's that bitch, hell yeah, nigga speaking. Okay, I have now added my Spotify to my link tree. So if you, yeah, oh awesome, it opens up like embedded, well it embedded my top tracks, interesting. Yeah, so yeah, my Spotify link's now in the link tree, which I believe is in the description, if I typed it correctly. GT with $5 says request Fua Fua time. You mean like to sing it? Okay, we can do that. I'm sure I can find a karaoke of that. Fua time karaoke. Hopefully this isn't like a copyright claimed off vocal. It's got Ramaji, perfect. Let me grab an unplugged microphone to pretend I'm singing one too. Okay, I have not listened to Fua Fua time in a few years. So if I don't remember the tune of this song, that's why. Actually, no, should I listen to the song itself first and remember what it sounds like? I don't want to get copyright claimed though. I think I remember. Yeah, okay.
さりげなが深読みしきりて Of the heat いつか目にした君の間近を瞳閉じても浮かんでくるよ夢でいいから二人だけのスイートタイム欲しいの明るさもどうして好きになるほどドレイムタイムなさいのとっておきのくまちゃんだしたし今夜は大丈夫かな
Some things never truly leave your brain. I think there's a rap part in this song too, though. I'm trying to remember the flow. I never really practiced the song a whole lot either. I'm surprised I'm really used to it.
少し雪降るって自然に話せば何かが変わるのかなそんな気するけど
Alright, yo, what up, motherfuckers? だけどそれが一番難しいのよ話のきっかけとどうしようてけ段取り考えてる時点で全然自然じゃないよねああ、もうやめちゃうねちゃうねちゃう
神様お願い一度だけのミラクルタイムくださいもしすぐに離さればその後はどうにかなるよねパパタイムパパタイムパパタイムパパタイムパパタイム
Actually, I remember why I know the words to that so well. Somebody and I were doing a punk rock cover of it. I don't think it ever got finished. I don't remember who it was. Somebody was going to do a punk rock cover of the song with me, and that's why I learned. I think. I remember doing like a version of this for somebody that had like growls in it. I can't remember. If anybody wants to pay me to do more songs, though, that was fun. So, you know, it felt like reawakening some kind of fucking like deep cell memory, you know, like some shit. I have literally not tried to sing that song in like at least 5, 6, 7 years. At least, you know. So I was just like, shit, do I even know this song? And then it all came. And that's the song I know a lot less than No Thank You or fucking basically any of the OPs or EDs from the second season. I know a lot better than the first season stuff. Or fucking Ichi Nisan Shigohan. Rice is a dish, that's what it's called. Gohan wa Okazu. And a lot of other anime songs too, obviously. But if nobody sends me any rant requests or karaoke requests, then I have to come up with my own thing to sing. And that's gonna take me a minute. I'm gonna have to think for a second. What do I want to sing or talk about? Probably sing, right? Singing's fun. Karaoke. Oh, karaoke. Right, I know what we're doing. Until somebody requests me something else. I know what we're doing. What the fuck is the name of this song? Of course. How could I forget? What's that? Ooh, Autumn Haunted with 2 Pound. Thoughts on the Metroid series. I'm a huge Metroid fan. I love Metroid. Probably my favorite game franchise next to Zelda. They are kind of the same thing, but Metroid is more easily pick up and playable to me, you know? I learned about Metroid because of Samus being in Smash. Like, when Super Smash Bros. Came out, like, basically late 90s, because of Pokemon, I became, like, a diehard Nintendo fan, and because, like, Nintendo Power had Pokemon promotionals, so that's how I started reading the magazine, became a big Nintendo person. I had an N64, I had a Game Boy, so it was a natural fit. I was a really hard Nintendo dick rider, like, really bad about it, for a long time. You know, console war kid, basically. Not Sega, though. Sega was already dead by the time my console war came around. It's purely Sony and Xbox, Microsoft, I mean. So I knew Samus from being in Smash, and all the Metroid games were before my time at that point, because they never made one for the Game Boy Color. They made one for original Game Boy, but that was like a really old game that I couldn't find anywhere by the time I knew about it. I never had an NES or a Super Nintendo until, you know, they were retro consoles much later. And I'd already played those games on emulator by then. So with Metroid, when 2003 rolled around, and Nintendo had realized that Super Smash Bros. Melee had made Samus into a popular enough character that she needed new games, we got the 1-2 punch of Metroid Prime and Metroid Fusion. The first two Metroids I played. Metroid Prime was too fucking hard for me. I didn't understand it. I watched my cousin play through a lot of it, but he never beat it, at least in front of me. Like, I never saw him beat Metroid Prime. So I do a lot of the game from him playing it, but not all of it. And I tried to beat it several times over the years. Like, when I was having my big gaming crunch in, like, 2012, I tried to play Metroid Prime, and I got to the Phazon Mines, which I still think is the hardest fucking part of the game, but I just didn't understand the combat. Like, I did not understand that in Metroid Prime, if you struggle with Metroid Prime, this is all the hint you need. Always keep a charged shot at all times. It seems obvious to people who know this about the game, but if you always are trying, this is my fist symbolizes a charging shot because you're holding down the A button and her arm is a gun. But if you are always holding a charged shot, because most enemies, like a fully charged shot, will do so much more damage that if you hit them with that first and then just pester them a few times, they're dead. And like, if you're trying to fight like pea shooting at enemies that are jumping around, it's not nearly as good. So like, if you understand that one tactical difference, it makes the game playable instead of impossibly hard. But otherwise, so now I've beaten Metroid Prime a few times. I have not finished the Switch one. I was playing it intermittently during work last year, but I never got to the end, and I would still love to. I might, if I find a way, I might do a stream where I literally like play Nintendo Switch in front of my screen because I don't have a capture software, and my internet connection is so shitty that when I play video games, it always looks like ass. So I might just do one where I film over my shoulder playing Metroid or something. That would be fun. But, you know, fun for me. I don't know if it would be fun for the audience. We'll find out about that. Yeah, I love Metroid Prime. I threw Metroid Prime because in that game and Fusion, I think if you link cable them together, you got access to original Metroid. So I played a little bit of NES Metroid through that, but oh no, I didn't. I think I actually own a physical copy of the Game Boy Advance port of original Metroid. Also, maybe both. Maybe I bought it even though I already had played it. Either way, I've never made it through NES Metroid. It's just too fun. It's so frustrating. And Zero Mission is so good, you know, so it's easy to just go back and play Zero Mission instead, which is like a 5-hour game, you know, if you're bad at it. So like Fusion was the first one I actually beat. I loved it at the time, but I had not played, you know, and then I played Zero Mission. I loved that as well. When I came back to Metroid in 2012, I was talking earlier about how on my blog, My Sword is Unbelievably Dull, I had like a gaming phase in 2012 and I wrote a lot about the games I played then. I probably did a post on all of the Metroids then. So when I last played all of the 2D Metroids, I think I wrote a blog post about all of them. I can just find that. I can just go read that. Actually, let me play. I have to pee again. I've been drinking too rapidly and performing too hard. I keep having to piss. So I'm going to play another song while I go to the bathroom, and then when I come back, I'm going to read those other 2 super chats that I've gotten, as well as finish answering the one that I'm currently answering. You know, sometimes when it rains, it pours. Everything good comes at once. I just got to piss.
face with some mids and some treble. Split made me mellow, but sometimes I shake. That ain't an earthquake, it is just me pacing back and forth, racing through a fourth, blazing forth with a sword. I forged a metaphor on a message board, but I was like 14 when a scene made me completely transformed.
Two vibes. You guys don't deserve these vibes. You deserve old writing. It's not that old, but well, it's over a decade old. It's 12 years old. It's pretty old, but it's not old enough that I think it's going to be shamefully bad. Let's see here. Uh-oh, I typed the name wrong. My sword is unbelievably dull.wordpress.com. And we search for Metroid. And let's see. Okay, I've got a few Metroid posts. Here we go. 2D Metroidgasm. I swear I'll get to all the super chats. Don't worry, Roger Ramos and GT. I don't remember what prompted it, but I've spent the last week and a half playing all of the 2D Metroid games except for the original. I did Zero Mission, then Fusion, then Metroid 2, and finished with Super Metroid. Here's my thoughts on each in chronological canon. Metroid Zero Mission. The original Metroid has aged poorly despite what many best games of all time lists will tell you. To make it feel awkward. Every other game in the series has improved on, has the best controls in the impossible. Another post. Oh, really? Did I? Okay, let's go read that other fucking post, I guess. Metroid Zero Mission, Fear and Power. Today I played through Metroid Zero Mission and was struck by the rawness of emotion that the game evoked in me. Emotions of fear and at times of power, often playing off of one another. The very start of the game is kind of boring since Samus can't do much yet. It consists mostly of simple platforming bits and shooting a few baddies. Each power-up Samus gets makes the game a layer more interesting as it opens up a slew of new ways to interact with the world. But more importantly than the interaction itself is the feelings that came from interacting with the world in different ways. Early in the game, one of the Chozo statues told me to go to Norfair for my next objective. Upon reaching Norfair, it quickly became apparent that the location on the map where my objective was marked was a place that I couldn't reach. This is too long. This post is actually this is a full thing. Whatever, I like Metroid. Let's move on to the next fucking super chat. You get it. $1.99 from Roger Ramos. Sending positive vibes to you in chat. Thank you. I love positive vibes. Last few recent time period. Ooh, most awesome thing I discovered recently. Ooh. I feel like there's a lot of answers to this. I talked about Shiner, the band, in my top albums list, but that's a band from the 90s that I had never heard of, that like directly adjacent. I'd never heard of them, and so I was really mind blown. I got way into Shiner last fall. Like, I usually try to keep up with new music relatively. Like, I want to know what's coming out, like what's good, so that I always like all I could listen all of last fall to listen to Shiner. So that was a big one for me. If you like alternative rock, if you don't like Deftones but you think you should, Shiner is probably the band that you're looking for. If you're like, I don't get why I don't like Deftones, listen to Shiner, see how that treats you. That's kind of how I felt about it. Or like, if you like Hum, they toured with Hum. They're like heavier Hum, like muscular Hum. What else has been good? Helldivers 2. holy fuck, maybe my favorite video game that I've ever played. I love Helldivers 2. It's funnier than shit, and it's not just the writing is funny, and the whole concept is funny, but like just the moment-to-moment gameplay experience has made me laugh more than any other game I've ever played. And like, I'm not the type of person who's good at making a game funny on purpose. Like, I love Donkey's videos because he's so good at figuring out what can be done in the game to amuse yourself. I'm a kind of a path of least resistance follower. I just kind of do whatever is simple and right in front of me. Helldivers 2 is so over the top in like what is happening on a moment-to-moment basis that oftentimes you're just like, what the fuck? Like, that just happened, you know? And it makes it really funny. And it's also, it's like, it's multiplayer, but not competitive. It's all player versus enemy, but you